Here in Greater West Bloomfield, we highlight a lot of sports stars, whether they're in football, baseball, basketball, but one sport that we don't talk about enough is wrestling. And just recently, the West Bloomfield wrestling team was shining at the MHSAA Girls State Champions with their athletes earning all-state honors. Such an incredible achievement. Here to talk about the wrestling team's recent success, we have West Bloomfield girls wrestling coach Andrew Nadhir and one of their wrestlers, Tamari Khizanishvili, joining us right now on The Splash. Good morning to the both of you.
Good morning.
Really happy to have you on. Really interested in hearing about this wrestling season. Andrew, I'm going to start with you. What has been the big key to your team's recent success, would you say?
Well, Jake, the team just works really hard. They're committed. They're excited to come to practice. They're excited to learn. They put in the effort. So the results really don't come as a surprise, especially the girls. Tamari, just total rock star, has improved every year. And this year finally got on the podium, took third in the state, gave herself a great shot to win the state championship, along with our other girls. And it really just a testament to how hard they work in practice and the attitude and charisma they bring to the wrestling room every day to get better and have fun while they're doing it.
Of course, all great honors for each of the students, and you just highlighted that Tamari got a third-place medal at the championships. Congratulations to Tamari. And I want to ask you, what have you gained from being a part of the wrestling team so far?
I've definitely gained confidence and more, like, a bigger opportunities, especially as a girl doing guys sports. It really helped me improve, and, like, especially my self-confidence grew a lot bigger.
Well, that's great, and the success is already showing. Once again, congratulations for what you've accomplished. And I want to ask both of you, with how incredible this season has been so far, has there been a memorable moment or a specific incident that has stood out more so than anything else? Andrew, I'll start with you.
I don't know if there's one specific moment, but the culmination, especially for Tamari's career, she's a senior and finishing up high school, and Alexandria Hampton, also senior. I think the culmination of 4 years of hard work, going to the state tournament, achieving a goal, and putting your best foot forth. And like Tamari said, the confidence they've gained over the years, you see it not just in their wrestling, but how they carry themselves outside. And a testament, really, they're better people than they are wrestlers, and they're damn good wrestlers, so it's pretty awesome.
Tamari, what about you? What has been something that stood out this season more so than anything else?
Definitely the relationships between our teammates. I grew a lot with myself and with the girls. It definitely gave me self-confidence, not just that, but, like, self-growth. And I think it gave, like, a good impact in my life and how it grew and built relationship.
Awesome. And it's awesome to hear about what you guys have been able to accomplish, especially in a sport like wrestling. And I want to ask you guys, what is it about wrestling that makes it stand out from other sports, whether that be in the camaraderie, in the teamwork? What can you say about that?
I think it could be, like, the difference in other sports. It has a definite physical impact and, like, a more strength-wise, but with the girls, it shows that instead of just using strength, you can use technique, and it's very mind, sportsmanship, like, and it really shows what kind of person you are on the field.
Absolutely. Very well said. Andrew, same question.
Wrestling, especially for the ladies, it's really impressive. Tamari said earlier, what's traditionally been known as a guy's sport. It's really graceful to see the girls wrestle because not only are they really strong and powerful, but they implement such a higher level of technique oftentimes because they don't rely on their strength. And I think the best part is, and Tamari touched on, is the camaraderie, especially at our girls' team. You have Layla, Eva, Tamari, and Alexandria. Just a tight-knit group. They all push each other. They work hard together. And they're not afraid to compete, whether it's against the boys or the girls. And they're always eager to learn. And in wrestling, I think having that mindset of curiosity, eager to learn, and implement techniques. It's not just a brute force sport like a lot of people think. So it's very special in that regard.
Absolutely. It's that positive mindset that goes a long way. For those just joining us right now on The Splash, we have West Bloomfield girls wrestling coach Andrew Nadhir and one of their wrestlers, Tamari Khizanishvili, joining us right now on The Splash to talk about the West Bloomfield girls wrestling team's recent success. And Andrew, I want to go to you for a second, because working with these wrestlers and seeing them grow and seeing them increase their talents and their skills in the wrestling ring, how do you develop young wrestlers and help them improve over the course of the season?
Great question. One thing always when you get into high school, a lot of wrestlers have habits and whatnot. It's really just going back to your fundamentals, basics, teaching just the very, very small details early in the sport, and then building from there. There's a big conditioning aspect as well. So, while Tamari spoke on the technique, which is huge, it doesn't, don't let that underscore how hard they work physically, conditioning wise, to be able to compete for a whole wrestling match. So the practices are challenging. They're technical, sometimes basic, sometimes complicated, but just constantly teaching, constantly learning. And what's great is you can learn from anyone in the sport. And so, there's times where Tamari does stuff and she'll teach me a move that I haven't seen that she maybe picked up at another gym. And so it's pretty awesome in that regard, that we have a lot of techniques we can focus on. We break them down. We see what works for everyone, and then we go give it a shot in a wrestling match. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
The student has become the master. Very interesting. Tamari, I'm going to come back to you. With a sport like this, I can imagine that wrestling poses a lot of challenges and a lot of difficulties that you'd have to get through. What has been the toughest part of wrestling, and how do you push through it?
Honestly, the toughest part could be mental, because there's some times where I can't do this, I can't do that. But really, honestly, if you just don't think about the mental part, you can get through it. Your body is just shutting you down. There's times where I didn't want to do something, I knew I couldn't win or stuff like that, but that didn't show me or make me give up in something. There's also times where you lost, but then and you didn't have any faith in yourself later on. But it really showed me how my mentality grew from wrestling, and it showed how I pretty much grew up and learned that even if something happens, I don't have to give up and to continue trying my hardest.
That's a very good outlook. There's always something to be gained from every single match, even the ones that don't always go your way. So I really love hearing that outlook. Very mature. And one more quick question before we let you guys go. I'm sure people are going to be watching this and they're going to be inspired to join the wrestling team themselves. What advice could you offer people who are interested in partaking in this sport?
Honestly, I think it's an amazing sport to continue doing. I started doing it having doubts in myself, didn't think I would get the ropes of it. But when I first continued, it became a really loving sport to me. I love this sport a lot, especially with my team. It builds confidence and relationship and mentally a good sportsmanship. I honestly believe you'd get the ropes of it really soon. It's basically you just gotta learn the basics in the beginning. It's a nice sport to do. I honestly think anyone should try. It's a really good sport to try.
You never
I
know
like it.
until you try it. Andrew, what do you think?
It's hard to top that answer because I think Tamari touched it perfectly. It's accessible to all people, age, weight, size. It's great. We have weight classes for everyone. I would really say it shows Tamari's maturity that at a young age she already knows the biggest thing I think the sport gives you is self-confidence and self-growth. And whether you're good or bad, I think everyone should try wrestling, because once you step on the mat, you test yourself on a different level than you've tested yourself before. And just surviving one practice gives you a lot of confidence, going back to the classroom and interacting with your friends. And then you have a lot of camaraderie in wrestling, because it is a challenging sport. You're beating each other up all practice, and then you're going out to dinner and eating together afterward. So just imagine that.
It is a very challenging sport, but you guys have made it look easy. Congratulations once again to all of your success. Can't wait to see what's to come in the future. Andrew, Tamari, thank you both for joining us today on The Splash Live.
Thank you for having us.